you've also helped me unravel how we do help clients outside of just looking at the numbers and working through the numbers. So
Because
again,
that's your brand.
yeah, thank you.
That's
Yeah.
that's your brand. You know, when you say like I don't need marketing, but then that means you don't help people because you don't have a system in place. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have a roadmap. There is no blueprint,
Mm-hmm.
as one of your favorite words is.
Let's update that blueprint. Well, let's just start with one in the beginning, right?
Mm.
So, but this is where I say you've given me grace.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Marketing with In-Depth Podcast, where I'm your host, Nathan Webster, and I'm excited to chop it up with you today. Sorry, y'all, just making sure my audio is good. I'm making sure the camera's good. I'm making sure we good because I'm not by myself. I got Miss Crystal.
Hello, Nathan.
What up? How you doing?
You're always so excited when we start these.
Yo, it is, well, how you just saw how long it took me to get it together.
I did. I did.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's finally working. So, yes.
You want me here at what time?
I know. I was like, my bad. All right, for those that are watching for the first time or listening, I want to say thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please follow the show. If this is everything that you're looking for, if this is not for you, then go ahead and click up, click off, turn off, whatever the case may be. You don't have to continue to listen. For my worldwide listeners, continue rocking with me. Thank you for all your support. I couldn't do it without you. So, today's show,
Uh-oh.
Crystal.
Yes, my friend.
So you had a wonderful podcast episode recording last time. Thank you so much. For those that haven't seen it, make sure you go check it out. I'll make sure to tag it in the show notes. If you're listening, if you're watching on YouTube, I'll make sure to put it in the description. So make sure you go to that. Follow along. Again, subscribe if you don't know who Crystal is or what Crystal does. So for those that don't, let me give you the floor.
Ooh. Well, we help brands make more money.
Hey!
And guess who helped me figure that out?
Hey! So today's title is kind of like it's all over the place, but we want to talk about when you don't focus on marketing. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Because we know there's a lot of businesses, but there's not a lot of businesses. I know you've given me some stats on businesses, but we want to frame the question for those out there watching or listening that say, I don't need marketing.
Oh, well, I was that person. I was like, I don't need that. I don't need that, Nathan. Well, so good and bad for me was I figured out how to grow my business organically. So the idea of marketing was like, I don't need to do that. I'm going to do it a different way, right? Mm-hmm. We talked about this yesterday where I think in business you can have two types of businesses. Either you can be transactional based or relationship based. I have always wanted to lead through relationship based. And so for me, going through sales in my background in corporate, when I had to lease apartments, and I remember I had a job where right out of college where I would go and do door-to-door sales. I would go visit 60 to 100 businesses a day and get the door slammed in your face. You got to understand that no wasn't really no.
I don't think I've ever had a door slammed in my face. That's
there was one route that I had to do. It was Sandy Boulevard in Portland.
yeah.
I'm
I know
not sure
Sandy.
if you're familiar with Sandy Boulevard in Portland. For those of you who don't, there's a lot of how would you describe it?
I'll just say sketch. Sus.
So some of the places that we walked into, it was not a massage parlor, even though it says it is a massage parlor. But anyway, I digress.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, so for me, when I started the business, I did it by building relationships. So what I would do is I would go to different conferences or go to networking events where I could engage with people and create a relationship with them first, right? And I led with, rather than thinking about how they can help me, I would lead with how can I help them? And so through that, I've been able to build a decent business. But then I realized a couple years ago that there's a lot of things I realized a couple years ago, but part of it was I didn't scale with the right clients. And so one of the things that I did is I scaled back, right? Last year I cut half my team, half my clients. We talked about that in the last one.
And I think you're, if you can turn the mic just a little bit more, other way, 180. There you go. Sorry, I didn't give it to you correctly. We're good.
Yeah. So with that, I said, okay, I'm going to scale back because I want to scale up right. I want to scale up right with the right team. I want to scale up right with the right clients. So part of that is as I was going through and just filling myself, investing myself in education. And I thought, okay, I'm going to first start with who are the people that are doing what I want to do and how did they get there?
Yeah.
And a lot of them talk about marketing and branding. And for me, I thought, okay, well, I, probably should talk to Nathan. Because when I think of marketing, I think of Nathan. But we talked about it and I go, but I don't know what Nathan does because I don't really know what marketing was. Yes, I took the classes in college, but it doesn't mean I really knew what it was.
Right.
Because even when I worked in corporate, yes, we did marketing, but I that was not my sole job, right? That wasn't my responsibility. Now, owning your own business, I think one of the best things we can do as a business owner is understand that nobody's going to speak about your business better than you.
Facts. Like the owner is always, and I should say the owner/founder is always the best salesperson.
And what working with you over the last year, what's also helped me is I understood that, but what you've done is you helped me create better clarity around what it is that we are, why are we here, what are we doing, what do I want my brand to be, what is the difference between marketing, advertising, and branding? Because it's all the same to me, right? So I think, but through this process and working with you as my CMO, you've helped me, even though you tell me I'm your most difficult client.
She is my most difficult client, but it's not a bad thing.
We need to unpack that at some point.
we will definitely, because it's not a bad thing.
Yeah. So I think, but you challenged me where I know I'm challenging you, but yes. I think part of
making me better.
Yeah. And I think part of that is, though, it goes back to I'm understanding now why it's important, because not only does it help me better be able to speak about what we do and how we help our clients. I mean, we talked about it in our session yesterday. I am now seeing one of the things that I'm shifting is I'm now focusing on, I know I help our clients, but I've never thought about how do I tell the story around helping my clients.
Facts.
And so with that, those are things where you've helped me shift my mindset around how you, first off, I actually have to look at the numbers and say how I'm helping them because that's what we talk about, right?
Yeah.
But it was amazing. So I did this recently with a client where we've been working with her for doing a CFO program that we offer, and 6 weeks. Come probably next week, she'll close on 2 new deals, which will increase her profit by 25% this year.
Wow. Congrats. That's huge.
But I know I've been doing that. I know our team has been doing that, but I didn't actually look at it myself, but then also say, okay, are we helping her? How are we helping her? And then to turn around and say, okay, look at what you're doing. Look how this is helping you, right? Mm-hmm. We do it with them, but it's having more intention around showing them. And now what does that mean? Now we can have conversations with her about, okay, these difficult clients that you're having that are sucking up all your time. Do you know that just getting these 2 new clients you're going to be doing a quarter of the work and you're going to be making more money? And part of it was we just looked at the numbers. But again, where does this come back to? So working with you through on my marketing stuff by shifting my mindset to thinking about not just knowing that we're helping our clients, but how do we tell the story behind how we're
Yes.
helping our clients.
Well, I want to just take a step back and say you may be a very hard client to work with, but you are also very coachable. I think that is one of the biggest things that I think for those that say, I don't need marketing. Well, is it a bad experience you've had? Is it something you don't understand? There's a reason behind it. And I know when we first started a year ago, you had all these different tools and we do need to do another podcast on unpacking all that of you being a difficult client, but it's because there's trauma there.
Yes.
So telling, who wants to tell their story of their trauma, because that's part of telling your brand story when you're helping a client, and that's a whole another thing to unpack, but congrats on the 25% of helping that client. That's huge.
Yeah. And like I said, we know we're doing it, but it's now you're helping me put framework around how I show the client to do that. So again, marketing is not just about what you're putting out to the public, right?
No,
it's also
no.
What are you doing with your clients as well? We talk about, and it's funny because when we're working with our clients, part of with this client, yes, we're doing CFO services. People are like, what does that mean? I'm a coach for her, a finance coach for her. Well, the last couple weeks, I've been a sales coach with her, right? Sitting in on sales calls with her and then getting off of them and saying, okay, here's what went really well. Here's what I see we could do different. Like you could do differently next time. And part of it is, again, it's about for me, what you've been helping me with is getting clarity again around how we're helping our clients, but then going back to not just marketing, but branding.
And I was
branding is
right,
and not again didn't know what I'm still all fuzzy to me, right? But
yeah, you're getting there.
That's why you're here, right? You're here to help me with that.
She's getting there.
But it's the branding, recognizing like who do you want to be? Who do you want to show up to be? How do you want your client, like, what is that feeling you want to leave your clients with?
Yes.
It's not just about closing a deal. Again, I'm not transactional based. And when I feel like I'm becoming transactional based, I have to step back and say, wait a minute, why is this happening? Because in life, yeah, I can make a lot more money and go a lot more faster, but that's not what life is all about. I am more passionate about helping people. I know it sounds silly because everybody's like, I just want to help people, right? But it's not necessarily helping people. It's having an impact, but a positive impact.
Well, I say to you yesterday, if your marketing strategy doesn't have any brand equity,
or you have no strategy,
yeah, then why? I'm gonna ask you, why are you working?
Yeah,
I think that's one of the biggest things when people say like, oh, I don't need marketing, I have word of mouth, I get referrals. That's cool and all. That's great. You have that opportunity, but at some point in time, people are going to want to figure out, what do you do then?
Yeah. And I think working through this, like the idea of, okay, well, I step back and I say, I don't know anything about I know some about marketing, right? But I have all these bits and pieces that I've gathered from other people or other trainings that I've done. And the key is I go back and I step back and I say, wait a minute. One of the things that we do as CFOs or as a finance coach, I really like that term better because sometimes CFO can be off-putting. It's intimidating.
Yeah, I was going to say intimidating, yeah.
And the thing is that's not what I excel at, right? So I recognize it's still important for me to be involved with it. However, why am I trying to do it on my own when I have somebody in I have a neighbor who can help me with this, right? That can also say, who's also going to, a good coach is also going to tell you what you don't want to hear. And sometimes you do tell me that. And sometimes
in love,
in love, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like you're doing it to beat me up. You're just saying, "Hey, here's what I'm seeing." Because the thing is you're coming at it with with heart, right? It's, "Hey, here's where I see you're struggling, and you're gracious with me because I can be a tough person, as friendly as I come across. Not that I'm mean behind doors. I'm not, but I push back. But I push back because I recognize that I've got so much going on in my head, and I have so many, as you said yesterday, paralysis of analysis. But that's how I work through stuff. And there is some trauma behind why I have to think things through, right? But it is a benefit to me and where I'm at in my life. So do I get a little bit quicker making decisions sometimes? But also we talked about before, being an avoider. Am I avoiding doing the things that are really going to move the needle?
That's deep. I think, and this is a great segue into another, you talk about avoiding. Marketing is what I feel a great way to expose someone for what they are. Because marketing is an investment. So for those out there that say, like, I don't want to market, I don't want to promote, why wouldn't you not promote what you believe and passionate about, coming back to your impact? So, what are we avoiding? So let me make this transition for those that are like, okay, I got some questions for you. And maybe some pushback for you. Like, okay, so what's the difference between you already having you already have clients, you already have your own trainings, you're already doing your own thing. Why would you need marketing? Like, I don't need it, so you don't need it. Just keep doing what you're doing. How do you respond to those people?
Because it's the same. It's kind of very similar to what we tell our clients, right? You have no strategy to work towards what you're trying to achieve, whatever that is to you, right? So to me, if I know I want to grow my CFO services by 30% this year, okay, I know how to put the numbers together for that. For me, that's the easy part. The question is, okay, how am I going to actually do that, right? What's going to be my strategy to get there as fast as I can, but also making sure that I'm doing it with the right people? Well, this is what you've been helping me with, is understanding how do you speak to the right people.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And also in our society today, technology is prevalent. We're not meeting people for coffee appointments or going to networking events as often as we were 15 to even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, right? So it's a lot because people are tired. People are tired. And so with that, what are they doing? Phones, right? We have these. So how is it that I can connect with people and show people who I am and who my team are? Like, how do we help clients? How do I build that trust without having to sit with them face to face? Well, we have to show them what we do, right? We have to show them how we help them. So one of the tactics that you helped me implement is creating a YouTube channel. Like, I don't want to be on YouTube. What do you mean I have to do videos? You're like, okay, we're going to do 50 videos over the next X number of months.
Right.
Like, oh gosh, why? But for me, I also realize this is some growth for me too, because again, it's forcing me to grow. It's forcing me to get better at understand it.
Speak that.
It's you're helping me better be able to speak to my people. Not everybody, we're going to work with everyone.
No.
We're not meant to work with everyone. So how do I put myself in a position where I can show them who we are without having to be face to face with them. And that's where the marketing comes in. But you got to have a strategy behind it. Because again, you see people who just, I'm going to post on social media daily. First off, I just cringe thinking about it.
Everybody, even people on social media would cringe if you say you need to post daily.
Yeah, because you're like, well, what am I going to post about, right? But again, I go back to, okay, at some point, maybe I might get to that point. But today, that's not where I'm at. I want it to be effective. I want it to be impactful. And so working through with you, it's figuring out, okay, well, let's be intentional about what we're putting out there, because what is it that we want people to see? But you've also helped me unravel how we do help clients outside of just looking at the numbers and working through the numbers. So again,
because that's your brand.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's your brand. You know, when you say like, I don't need marketing, but then that means you don't help people because you don't have a system in place. You don't have a roadmap. There is no blueprint, as one of your favorite words is.
Let's update that blueprint. Well, let's just start with one in the beginning, right? So, but this is where I say you've given me grace as well, because I have all these different things that I'm embracing. I am recognizing, and I'm saying, okay. I went back and looked at what we started with, where I said, okay, yes, you had told me, are you willing to commit to XYZ? And I was like, yes, I will. And it's funny because now in the beginning, I fought it because I'm like, this is just one more thing I have to do. Not recognizing or realizing, now I get excited about working on it because it's not forcing me, but it's giving me an opportunity to say, okay, how else can I help people? Not just one-on-one, because we talked about that. I said, one of the things that I struggle with is, yes, we're really good one-on-one, but I want to still be able to have a positive impact for people, not just one-on-one. What about those that aren't ready or can't afford us yet? There's still some value that we can give to those folks. And that's what got me behind some of the tactics that we're taking. But it's forcing me to become better at what we do, because it's saying, hey, I'm going back and reflecting, is this helping our clients? Oh, look, it is. Or, oh, I need to shift this a little bit because this wasn't as effective as I thought it was. But again, that goes back to why it's so important that we have coaches for the different things in our life too.
So true.
To me, I have 3 separate coaches right now I pay for services. You happen to be one of those because you're each individually, maybe 4. I've left somebody out. Just sorry about that. But to me, it's because the number one thing we can invest in is ourselves.
For those that are listening, marketing is investment back into yourself. That's why I wear the BU, because God only made one of you. God don't make junk, and I think that's the beauty in watching your growth. When it's painful. Every time when she does a video, y'all, it's like
it's so bad. This poor guy. I'm like, I promise at some point I'll get better.
She hasn't, but it's
See, this is why you need coaches to tell you the truth, right?
But the end result is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean,
it might take us 20 minutes to do a 30-second video, but that's okay.
And that's how long it took me to set up, I said I was going to have it ready and wasn't, So what are, for those that say, okay, I need to get past my fear, what are some immediate outcomes or benefits that you say from doing YouTube, or, which is one tactic, but let's just say, you can choose whatever tactic you want to go into, but for those that are scared to make that leap into investing in themselves and, doing marketing and hiring a fractional CMO or a coach like myself to help you, what would you say to them that is like on that bubble?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm going to use the Nike slogan, just do it. Again, the number one thing you can invest in is yourself. And to me, hiring somebody to help me with my marketing was investing in myself. It's also investing in, yes, I believe in what we're doing, but I need to be strategic about how we do this. And I need to be smarter about how we do this. And oh, by the way, I don't have to do it all myself. That is something that as business owners, we think, oh, I'll just do it myself. Yeah, but how much more time and effort and frustration are we putting ourselves through if we just hired somebody like, that's when we start. Just tell me what to do. I just don't know what to do. I'll do the work, right? The key is you got to do the work, but it's having that person there who can help guide you. It's not, you're not telling me what to do. You're helping guide me. You've helped me guide me through what's working, what's not working, where I'm the barrier to this growth, right?
You see, y'all, I'm not trying to give her eye contact right now. Because, to keep it real, it's not me doing the work. That's what so many people think, like, oh, you're going to do all these things. It's like, no, this is your baby. This is your vision.
Now, it doesn't mean that you don't do work for me, right?
No, I do.
It's the same thing for us with our clients, right?
By the way, your website's updated with the tagline.
Good job. But yeah, but the thing is you're right. It's my baby. And the beauty of it, and again, this goes back to you giving me grace. This is my baby, so I get to do what I want. Yes. And as frustrating as it is for me, I know it is for you, but as a good coach, we recognize that our students are athletes, our clients, we have to go through those struggles ourselves. As much as we say, you just need to do it this way. Just trust me, right? But the thing is, the way we grow and we become better is by doing the work. As frustrating as it could be, just get comfortable with being frustrated.
It is, and you always said that from day. And I will say, when she said earlier about she didn't know what I did, I wasn't focused. I wasn't clear with my messaging. It wasn't until 6 months ago I was like, now it's more than 6 months, but when I was like a year ago, when I was like, okay, I'm making this transition, I'm going to focus on my podcast because I wasn't making any money from it. I'm like, let me go ahead and try this YouTube thing. I want to take this serious because it's different than any other channel. Because with YouTube, which is so different about it, is you're always talking to a stranger. Mm-hmm. And you never approach a stranger as if they know anything about you. So you have to earn their respect. And I'm like, this is hard, continuously putting out this message, this video in the form of a video, and thinking I'm going to get these likes or this adoration, like I say, get on Facebook. It doesn't happen that way.
Well, and part of that is because what our clients want changes. And so if we're not changing with it, what we think our clients want, we've done videos where you're like, yeah, no, Crystal. And you're like, it's dry and boring and nobody cares.
No one's going to care about that.
But I care. But that forces me to go back and say, wait a minute. Okay, he's right. This is important. So how do I reframe this to where this other person who doesn't have all of the experience and knowledge that I do, how do I put this in a story that makes sense to them? why is this important, right? How do I make it digestible? How do you make videos not just educational, but they have to be entertaining too, right? And sometimes they're not going to be, but you can work on it, right?
Yep.
Accounting is boring. Who like
Accounting is extremely boring.
but it can be fun and it can be sexy. Because if you know
No.
how to use spreadsheets to show you how to create freedom, that's sexy to me.
And that is where we're gonna end. Because I think we got to do a part 2 real fast. Because she just said, say that last part again.
Which part?
What's sexy to you?
Oh, so spreadsheets. Spreadsheets can be sexy if you know how to use them to create freedom.
And she said to me, I'm like, no, I just need a spreadsheet. Do what it does for me. I need to see it in the black, in the positive, and that's not my expertise. So, we're at our mark back. I want to do another one.
Okay.
Okay. So, y'all, look, you got to tune in for the next week, the next one, because we're going to talk about how I think that one of the biggest things when you say, I don't want to do marketing. Right now, I really want to talk about in this next one, which you need to follow along. Make sure if you haven't already subscribed, because part 2 is going to focus on what now has changed in your entire life. Because we say like, oh, this is I'm doing it for my job or my company or my clients, but has this not affected your personal life?
Yes, it has. I know exactly what story you're talking about.
All right. So, hey, thank you again. I appreciate you. Until next time, thank you for doing part 1. Part 2 is on the way. Until next time, dream big and Godspeed.